Welcome to Warrior Class,
where the teachers whip ass.
And you will too if you pass.
This is Warrior Class episode 4. We'll be dealing with human trafficking today. Okay, human trafficking. People think just sex trafficking is not. That's the most insidious part of it. But human trafficking also, when you're forced to, there are women brought here forced to do hair, working 12, 14 hours a day, no breaks. A lot of those women are trafficked. I used to go to a barber, and in the back, I used to hear women's voices. And I asked one time, everybody got real quiet. Like, what's going on back there? And it got real quiet. And as I left, the owner of the barbershop comes outside and he acting like he's checking his pistol. And he racks the, pistol, like, he putting a round in the chamber. I was like, okay. Because I was going just like that in his face. He's just close to me, 3-4 feet. Okay. I would have taken that, and that would have been mine if he had tried to use that on me, Or I would have, I would have taken it. I didn't say what I would have done. Yeah, I would have taken that. So I was convinced they got some women back there. And I told my wife, I'm not going back to that place, but we got to look into this. Before I could look into it, I look on YouTube on human trafficking because we were getting ready to do a series on that USPI. Right? And on that, they said the FBI was investigating this barbershop for human trafficking. I look, it's that barbershop.
Wow.
So I said, well, I won't be going back there. And they catching me on camera doing what I was about to do. But I was going to investigate. When we were at a certain place training, remember that place locked from the outside. Remember that? It's the slide the slide was on the outside where we know that was used for human trafficking. And Atlanta is the #1 place in the world for human trafficking. It has the world's busiest airport, right? And so training in there, and I've said to y'all before, they used to human trafficking here. I hope that the current owners at that place weren't doing it, but like, damn, you know what I mean? You lock. Why's you got to slide on the outside to lock it from people getting out? What was that? What was that for? Right? You just have a lock, but the door slide that you normally would have in your inside door, but a thick one. So we're gonna deal with human trafficking. Before COVID, there was a big thing about human trafficking. Everybody was talking about it. Some people even lying. I was trafficked today, or I was almost trafficked. You can't say trafficked because they wouldn't do it. I was almost trafficked today. Story time. It was so much of that bullshit, and that was ridiculous. You're doing that to get clout. That you almost trafficked when there are women really getting trafficked. Women, men, children, in the huge numbers, and you want to get clout, so you throw yourself in that. A person doing that ain't nothing. We're early on, so I won't say the poo-poo. They ain't poop. They ain't poop. To do that, to get attention, like they obviously got some kind of issue, but and no feeling for the people that really have been taken. Okay, I know some people who've been abducted personally, who to this day haven't been seen again. And was involved in the thing years ago. I think I told y'all about when I was going to Blockbuster. That's how long ago it was. Blockbuster doesn't even exist anymore. Even the one that was in some other state doesn't exist no more. But I pull up. A white van pulls next to me. 4 dudes get out. It's open right there. I look, and a sister's in there, hand behind her back, and she says, "Help me, help me." I look, and I said, this might be a setup Cause I go over there to help her, and now I'm in there.
Mhm.
And I was young then, so they don't want my old ass now. But back then, so I said, I don't know, but I'm gonna check things out. I gotta investigate this. So I go into the Blockbuster, and I'm walking around. I just gravitate like I want to, and I'm walking around listening to the dudes. And then I give them an indication of what they're gonna do at first. And so I follow them to the checkout, and I realized they noticed. So they say, one of them says something like, people, think they can stop what we doing. They can't stop what we doing. They'll catch one. Yeah, all of that. So I said, okay, they know I'm following them, but too late to turn around now. Let me go ahead and follow them right outside. And if I see that they're trying to, that they're taking this woman, then they're going to catch one. Or four, because it's four of them, right? So I go out there, right behind them, and I notice when I get outside, there's a fifth one. And he's against my car, leaning on my car. I said, oh, shit, this was a setup.
Mm.
And so he's on my car on the driver's side, leaning on it. Their van is over here. There's another car here, so it's little space between. I said, excuse me, brother, I need to get in my car. You're on my car. He looks. Whoa, I throw him against the other car. He turns around. I said, let's go. Right. And then he just backs up, gets in that car. I get in my car. And he's so close to me parked, I had to still squeeze into my car. So I get in my car. I get ready to drive out, and the van is driving out. But when it drives, it turns itself so I can't see its license plate at all, right? It turned, so I'm about to try to follow it, and the other car that the brother got in, he pulls behind me, so I can't get out. And that car drives off. So I'm trying to look to get his plate, but the way it's driving, their position, I can't even see the whole plate.
They've been doing this. They know what they're doing.
Right, they know they're doing. And then after that van leaves, then that car, which doesn't have a plate in the back, it drives off. And then I can leave. I wasn't gonna follow them to the streets.
Right.
And that has haunted me for years. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, that sister was on there setting me up too. Or they said, oh, we got this one because he's going to try to be a hero. And so we get both of them. I've never known exactly what happened with that, but just to let you know how insidious this stuff is. That was right. That was in Stone Mountain. Okay. Be careful out here. And we're going to deal with human trafficking in depth if somebody's trying to take you. One thing, if they're trying to grab you, how to get out of it. And if you want to see more, you just let us know, and we'll show other situations, how to get out of grabs. And actually, we're going to deal with one outside, how to get out of cars. If you're thrown in the trunk, if you're forced into the vehicle itself, we're going to deal with that. Any news we got?
We did see recently there was the altercation with, and so the funny thing is, this happened on Monroe, right up the street at the corner store. So it was this man, I guess this Karen, you want to call her, was she felt that this guy was blocking her, even though she was the one that was parked uneven and crooked and stuff. And so she felt this guy was parked wrong, so she was standing behind his car. He parked in, she's standing behind his car where he can't back out. I guess then she's gonna call the police or something on him and everything. And it was a very, I think it was handled fairly well to me. We want to discuss, if you encounter that type of situation, how you may want to handle, what's the best ways if we can improve on something that she did. What do we think about the
You
man?
can tell about the woman what she did.
Oh, so yeah. So what happened is the Karen's blocking the car. She's not moving, and the guy's videoing, like, you know, he's joning her, trying to get her to leave. You know, talking, you know, just picking at her, and that's not really doing anything. So this black woman comes up, and this is why I, under the post on my page, I actually posted, you know, black men, this is our only. I don't know my exact words, like, this is the only friend we really have, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, because the black woman was like, you trying to get out? She's like, come, get in your car, go ahead. So he gets in the car, and she gets between him and the vehicle, like this right here, like,
Between the white woman and the
vehicle. Come on back on out, kind of bury, you know, use herself as a barrier while he could pull out. So that was could have gotten, you know, physical. I think they handled it, the black man and the black woman. I think they both did a good job handling that.
Strategic.
Yeah. So we can talk about.
And what's funny is I don't think the woman and man knew each other. The sister
No,
and
they
the brother.
don't.
I think they knew each other.
No, they don't.
Now,
Which is the most beautiful thing about it.
so it was good. The sister handled it because the brother putting his hands on her. You know,
So we see the touch.
one that I'm not for putting your hands on any woman. It doesn't matter what her race is or whatever, right? Unless it's in defense of your life.
Right.
But a woman handling that, good. You know, the way she handled it, she didn't have to put her hands on him, good. I only have one critique, and that she turned her back to the woman.
Right.
You don't turn your back on anybody. A white woman? If it was flipped, if it was a man doing it, and the man decided to move that white man, and he's got his back to that dude, he'd have got knocked in the head, without a doubt. Even if it was a woman backing a cracker out of there, he probably knocked her in the head. Okay, so, or worse, yes. You give a person your back, you become
An ancestor.
an ancestor. So I don't recommend ever giving up your back, because she could have done the same thing with her front and not put her hands on her.
Right.
Okay, with her side and not put her hands on her and be able to see her. But with your back like that, right? That's my only critique of it.
So if you ever want to be that person, just remember.
Right. Don't give up your back. You know what I mean? And you know, we always, I don't say always want to help each other when we see something. It depends on the situation,
Right.
and our ability. Sometimes we can be more harmful trying to help. We don't even know what we're doing. But I remember driving with my wife. We're going down this main street. I'm seeing this man fight this woman. This brother fight this sister. I said, baby, stop the car. She stopped the car. She knows what's about to happen. I jump out. I go over to him, right? Walking over to him briskly. You don't go running over there. And you run into some you're not ready to deal with, right? You don't know the situation. So I'm walking, I'm assessing the situation. And he's knocking her, hitting her. I said, okay, I'm about to just take him down, boom, tell her to leave, but keep my eyes on her, because I know somebody that tried to save somebody. Her husband was beating her. He goes to save him. She's mad, baby, and she stabbed the dude that was trying to save her. So I kept my eyes on her, but I'd held him where he couldn't do anything. If she left, and then when I get up, he wants to do something, I'd have knocked him out. We got in the car, left. So as soon as I'm about 2 feet away, about to make my move, the person looks up, it was another woman. It was not a man. And they look up like, I said, have a good day. You know, like, they're both fighting, right? I said, have a good day. I'm not jumping in between two women fighting and to put my hand on either one of them to save anybody at that point, because I don't know what's going on, and there's two women, so the situation was totally different from what I thought it was. In that, one of my children asked, what if it was a white woman beating up a sister and you walked up, I won't even go there. I just, I believe the sister would have prevailed in that situation. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that.
You did say earlier you don't believe a man should put his hands on a woman unless it's defending his life.
Yes.
So basically, you're saying unless he's being threatened or attacked by a woman, really.
Yes. Threatened, not intimidated. So
right, exactly. I just wanted to clarify that.
And yes. So if you said to me, keep on talking, I slap the taste out your mouth. Right? I say, damn, that was rough. But I'm not going to, my life ain't danger. All I got to do is not talk. And if I keep talking, I want you to try to slap the taste out of my mouth. That means I've chosen violence, like people say. I woke up and chose violence. I want to see what you're going to do, right? It's my ego doing that. I can control that situation. I can be in control of the situation. I'm not in control if I keep talking. If you say, shut your damn mouth, blah, 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 I'm going to slap the taste out your mouth. If I want to be in control of that situation, I just look at you. I don't open my mouth because she gave me a condition. Mm-hmm. Shut your damn mouth, I'm going to slap the taste out of it. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I can control that by controlling the condition. I give them, here's the condition, shut your mouth or. If you got or, unless, until, you can control that. But if she looks at me and says, I'm slapping the damn taste out your mouth. I didn't get a condition. Right. I don't have nothing I can work with. That's a threat. So if a person tells you, gender don't matter, race don't matter, political bent, it doesn't matter. I didn't say politics, because they got politics, they're not doing this. They got good politics. Or unless they just had a problem that day and they should have chose me. If you threaten me, and if you make a move on me, I'm going to protect myself. I didn't say defend myself. In court, I'll say I defended myself. Self-defense is a legal term. They got nothing to do with what we're doing right here. We use self-defense because people used to that term. Right. But it's actually self-protection. I'm going to protect myself. And myself don't just mean me. Right. It's those that I care about. Myself, my little m, big S, myself. I'm going to protect that which I care about. Okay. And so when I got to help when I thought it was a woman being beaten by the man, right? That's myself. That's black people. That's what I care about. Mm-hmm. So now that don't mean everybody call me when you need some. You call me at 3 a.m. and say, "Hey, I just got jumped. By this dude." And I say, "What? You got jumped by a dude?" Yeah. And I'm getting ready. And then I get to your house and it was your dad who you had stolen his TV. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put me in that kind of position, right? But because you also should care about me. Y'all got me? So on that, there should be care in that. Like, I'm with you on helping you, but damn, I am a older man with children and grandchildren. I'm
to be worth it.
So right, it got to be worth it. Don't give me no bull jive. Make sure you call me to help you. It's for real. It ain't cause you on some emotional thing. Or I got called one time to help this woman. Her son stole her TV. He's a crackhead. I was young and I shouldn't have taken it to where I did because he didn't physically do anything to her. I just told him, you got to get your mother's TV back. He said, I'm not giving her shit. My friends told me, I put him on his back. They said, I'm running up the wall. Of course, these are my friends, so they exaggerating. I'm running up the wall. So I grabbed both my ankles and held and brought my knees down his chest. All I remember is when he said, I'm not giving her shit, I went at him. And I can swear I don't remember what I did. All I knew is Eminem taking him away.
That's what baby.
So his mama at that point was like, I'm calling the police on him. And it was my best friend who talked her down. Like, look, you wanted him to do something about this. You can't dictate to him how serious it is, right?
We talked about that last week.
My own mama, you know, I used to always tell her, right? Don't call me, and then don't take the muzzle off the pit bull, and don't think it's gonna bite. You say, why did you bite pit bull? You took the muzzle off of him, and you sicked him, right?
You wanted him to bite a certain way,
right? Right. I can't bite the way you want me to bite. I'm gonna bite.
That's what I thought was good, that the black man just kind of. I don't condone videoing because it's just.
Well, that was another black man who videoed when the woman moved.
But the guy, video and just
tell me she don't have a neck,
picking on and stuff. I thought that was okay because if you seen the video that was floating around a few weeks ago where a black security guard was trying to get two white women to leave the store, and when he didn't put his hands on, but he did his hands out like this, and the woman struck him right upside the head, and he didn't even put his hands up to her. It was two women, so he turned to her and put his hand on her. As soon as he did like this, she started screaming as loud as she could. You see that? She just started, just uncontrollably.
That's a Karen.
Exactly. That's why, like Bob was saying, if she's not threatening you, don't put your hands on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we talk
Anybody.
Yeah,
right.
Anybody. They're not threatening you, don't put your hands on them. But especially Karen, because Karen gets you killed. You know what I'm saying?
And be careful when you put your hands on now. You can't see, you have to put your hands on to know where they're at. I don't know if I've dealt with that already on how to tell. I know I dealt with it in the book, Alaba Lashe,
right.
African guy for the differently able, right? But then you may have to, and you got to be careful because people get offended by that, of course, but you got to do what you got to do if you have to. But if you are at all able to deal with a person without touching them, don't touch them unless you are actually touching them to neutralize this threat.
Right.
Now,
learning how to neutralize the threat,
and that's what this is for, right? You best learn how to do it properly. Like turning your back on them. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. That's dangerous as hell. And she was just lucky that Karen really didn't want no smoke.
Right, exactly.
If she wanted smoke, she could have hit that sister. And don't get spooky and say, well, she could have hit the sister and nothing with that because that sister was too strong for that Karen. We're not romanticists. So don't believe that. I remember years ago, this brother, a friend of mine, he was teaching martial arts. And I was at his school. In Chicago, we always go to other people's schools, visit and stuff like that, right? And we were talking about Kathy Long. She was a professional fighter at the time. Kathy Long, white woman. She would train every day. She'd run 10 miles with an aspirator in her mouth. And her goal, she had to keep the ball up. And if it came down, she had to start the run over. She was bench pressing 250 pounds. This is a woman. She's bench pressing 250 pounds. That's what she trained with. She could bench press more than that. And so she was wrecking mugs when she was fighting them. Wrecking them. Destroying them. First round, she was like the white woman, Mike Tyson of kickboxing.
And she really was a woman.
Yeah, she really was a woman. It wasn't she really was a woman. Right? She wasn't Cody Long. She was Kathy Long for real.
Okay.
And the way you know that is, she was confused. She fought a woman and destroyed her, but in the second round, she's confused. I don't understand. Why did it take me 2 rounds to destroy her? I normally do it in 1 round. I'm confused. You confused that you destroyed somebody in the second round. That's how good she was. Because she was pregnant. She was pregnant in the fight and destroyed her. So we're talking about it. And one of his students says, I beat Kathy Long with no problem. A woman, who just started training for about 2 weeks.
Because she was black.
Yeah. I said, well, why? You've been training other things? She said, no, because I'm black. Come on, man. Let's be realistic. Stop that.
No, that's a good one, Bob.
Stop it.
I was 17 years old. I came out of I wrestled through high school, and then I went to I wanted to take Jeet Kune Do. I wanted to be like Bruce Lee. So I went to Jeet Kune Do class. Wrestling really helped me because when you wrestle, you realize that fights go to the ground. So when you wrestle in high school, you understand real quick how important what you're learning is because you see it. And you start having pictures, like you say, still pictures. You start seeing pictures of you on the ground, you done had fights, and you see what is valuable. So I would see, it started in the wrestling when I would see these white boys that look like punks. You know, and when I say punks, I mean like a weak, I don't mean it in that, way. Anyway, you would see these dudes and they just look, soft. Thank you. Very soft, very shea butter. And you think these white dudes, you could wreck them. And same thing, I went to Jeet Kune Do, and it was the nerdiest looking white dude with red hair I remember. And he was the nicest dude in and out. Of course, he was taking Jeet Kune Do, so I'm not saying that what he was taking was so crazy, but he was very proficient. He would have hurt somebody, a regular person in the street. But you would have thought he was somebody, if they step on your shoe, you'd have pushed them. Like, what you step on my shoe for? And he kicked you in your neck or something, and you wouldn't have been expecting that because you're thinking, you're a Negro, and he's a white boy. Man, so I've seen 2 minutes.
So on that, don't fool yourself to think just because you're black, you're gonna defeat any white person. Stop it.
Right, you training for the sucker.
Now, you're training for the sucker. Now, if you're well trained, I fully believe you put a well trained black person up against a well trained white person. I'm well trained. Then you may have some edge, but then it comes out. See, not just after if you're evenly trained. Now it comes down to intelligence. It comes down to you're willing to be brutal.
That's it.
I don't think we could beat them in brutality and what's in their mind. What about Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson is really a loving person who went through abuse.
Exactly.
And this is why certain things would be, our nature is not to be brutal, but we got to be able to go there for defense of ourselves. And so if you step into that ring, well, you're in defense of yourself. Yeah. Don't make no mistake about it. You go to other countries in the MMA, this one dude I know fought in MMA in China. They're wrapping their fists with, the wrap has metal in it. And then another one, they're wrapping their fists with this wet, it's on like a cast. So it's a cast on there. They put that on first, and then they wrap. In MMA, you have professionals that just wrap both sides, not your own people. Wrap your hands. You have professionals that do that, so you ain't doing that kind of jacket. All you do is you put cast over here,
right.
And you wrap it. Then the person feeling it, all they feel is knuckle when they expect you. But it's hard as hell. And so this dude got hit in the head. His whole skull got shattered from a dude doing that in China. So you got some brutal people. So believe me, you're protecting yourself when you get in that ring. And anything can happen. Someone trying to kill you, trying to snap your arm, snap your ankle. And they'll probably say, I was just gonna keep it on them, and the referee didn't stop me. And Tim Sylvia fighting Frank Mir snapped his elbow because the referee got there slow. He couldn't see that his elbow was so extended. And so he snapped it. These boys don't give a damn. So you have to be prepared to be brutal.
They got videos of me training kids, and if the kid fall, then all the adults start kicking them until they get up.
Right. Now we don't train like that.
No, we don't do that.
We have more intelligent training. Once again, we're Africans, so there's more compassion in how we train. But
civility.
I found our training to be very effective.
I was just gonna say, for us to not do like the stuff like kicking you when you're down, all that, we actually apply the technique probably harder than them though. Even though they're doing that stuff, they're not really applying it like we do. So
yes,
That's a mental conditioning that kicking them while they're on the floor like that.
yeah. But the other mental conditioning is teaching your students from jump. This is what combat is. This is how we deal with it. There's no hesitation in it. Joking with them when they being shea butter is what we call it. You know, weak boned. That is all strategy and how you train the person. So for us, you say, that was a good technique, you know, a little weak bone, but that person wants to do that. When they understand weak bone is that's weak, that's an alternative. You're too weak to do other stuff. We ain't making fun of those that's weak. But the whole thing is you don't want to be considered weak bone in class. And so I say weak, we say weak bone. You weak to the bone, that's to your core, right? For this technique. For this period of time. Not always, but this technique, you weak bone. That person don't want to be weak bone. Our whole culture, in our martial culture in our class, you don't want to be weak bone. So you work. One time I did something, I was tired, I did something, and Iken Bobala, he's a master instructor in the class, he said, man, that was dope, Baba. You're a little weak bone. And I laughed like that, okay. I went right back and did that for real, you know, without hurting somebody. But now I got to put my real energy in it. So it's letting me know you ain't putting your normal energy in this. That was kind of, that was weak bone right there.
Yeah,
and you never be lazy with your technique because your technique is there to save your life. So even in training, you don't be lazy. You don't hurt each other. We're intelligent in how we do our thing. If you watched back Thursday, Remix Morning Show, you saw me how to get out of the grab here and I slap belay up here. Up here, it's supposed to be to the ear combative, but up here to train. And he's like, you know, got a headache.
I was gonna mention that.
So I said, so you know, I was like, well, you know, you're all right. Kept checking on him. You're all right.
And that's what they do.
You know,
he didn't mean to hurt me, but I'm not gonna know how it really feels. First of all, and you don't want to get caught. Like we were just saying, we do wrist locks or whatever, so he never really applied a wrist lock to me. And I get out there, somebody actually get that off, and then like, oh, you know, the fact that we do it and really do it to our tap. When somebody out there that's not in our class that even knows how to have wrist locked me before, they like, oh man, I got to do it real hard to get it to work on you. That's because you never really done it hard before, and I've had it put on me before. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do in class. We ain't gonna hurt you, but you want to feel. If we just mimic touching the face, the first time you get hit,
right? You be prickly, and that's also why. So all my life, we've been hands-on with each other, right? Real hands-on, but also, so all my life, my training time when I was coming up. And now, still my training time when I'm coming up, always growing, right? My students put their hands on me. That's the way this is supposed to go. And I'm saying is the matter is the truth. So if you can't get hands put on you, but you can put hands on other people, man, you're weak bone. Once again, you're weak bone. That's what we mean. I'm talking to other instructors, masters, whatever you call yourself that are watching this. You put your hands on, I've seen masters hit students, and they're smiling all a little wickedly. I heard, you old weak bone chump. that gets you off. You weak, but you weak and weak bone. Now,
line up all the students and hit them all.
Right, and that just make him feel better. Like, dude, you got problems. Now, you get hit though. Let them hit you. Now, what do? A brother told me years ago in a great association, nation, whatever you may want to call it, right? He says to me, I'm teaching, and I'm walking, you know, brother, I think has some issues. He said, I'm strong, brother. I'm strong, brother. This dude was brilliant, though. He talked like that. He was brilliant, I come to find out. I said, I'm strong too, brother. Like, you know, I ain't worried about that. He said, I play football, brother. I said, okay, I play football to a rain track. What does that mean, though? So I go back, I'm teaching, I come back to him, he said, "Me that," boom, he hit to the chest. Everybody looking, he hit me in the chest. I said, "That was strong, bro. That was strong." Boom, hit him. Well, I said, "You strong. I'm strong. I'm the one that's strong." He looked up like, "How this can't do it?" I can be real. How do you? I don't mind you doing that. I don't mind, but I'm gonna give it to you because it's call and response to us, right? So I say, let's train light. You training heavy. Well, let's go ahead and train heavy. I got, you called it. I gotta respond. That's the way we work.
Yeah.
But if I'm light with him and he light with me, we good. If I go a little heavier, he's supposed to go a little heavier. He go a little even more heavy, I go even more heavy. That's what we do. It's cool.
We always start out like
It's cool. Yeah, I always start like I'm usually light and gentle. I'm a gentle lamb. I always tell people that.
not him. I
Okay.
said he started.
So we're going to get to it now technically, okay? How to get out of techniques, unless somebody else got other news. We're going to get into how to get out of being snatched up and they're trying to take you with them, okay? You can find many videos on abductions. People walk down the street and they just get abducted. Some that get picked up and carried away. There was some failure in that if you get kicked, unless you're a child, you get picked up and carried like that.
Right.
Even a 7-year-old child got picked up by the dude. Come here. She said, no. He walked over to her. She should have taken off at that point and been screaming. He picks her up and he's carrying her. It's caught on the video in the apartment complex. He's walking with her and she kicks, right. And she gets out. That's what made him drop her. So a 7-year-old can do that. So ain't no way no grown human being should be picked up and walked off like this.
And you know what?
Only through fear. Okay?
You
Word.
can train this with your child. You can train that right there with your child. You can train your child to kick and scream when somebody grabs them and tries to pick them up and run with them and stuff like that. We feel like it's like some kind of way that we're drawing this to us if we prepare for it, which is a very strange thing that we do.
That comes from Buddhism.
I believe with
that's,
all
that,
this
that's,
going around.
That's a Buddhist belief that I can bring, if I train for trouble, I bring trouble to myself. I've been training, it'll be 50 years in April 10th next year. Other than when I was in the military, I've just gotten into the normal little scrapes that children get in, as a child, as a man. A couple of things have happened. Trouble doesn't follow me like that because I'm moving with confidence.
Exactly.
And so people aren't just messing with you.
Right. You assess things better. You not
And your energy. Assess things better so you got better awareness, right? So you avoid it. But even if you can't, predators seek the weakest target, the weakest prey. They don't seek the strongest prey. You don't see, so a lion is a predator. Rarely, and they work as a pride, the lionesses. Rarely do you see them attacking a rhinoceros, this is a baby, a hippopotamus,
right.
or elephant.
And
that's rare. Right, all that's rare.
Exactly.
A baby, even monkeys. I watched, baboons. Even the crocodile, that's an apex predator. Nothing hunts the crocodile, right? Crocodile grabs a baby baboon. The other baboons jump in and are tearing that crocodile up. It let that baby baboon go. It was too late. The baby baboon was bitten.
That's super strong. They could just rip the jaw open or
right. Well, apes are. So if you don't know a chimp comes up to your waist, but a chimp can tear a strong man's both his arms off, literally. That's how strong they are. So imagine a gorilla. That's why nothing is like a gorilla. It's not a predator at all. It's a vegetarian. Nothing just messes with a gorilla, though. You'd be foolish. Like the gorilla's on my arm. Me too. Gorillas on my arm. One day the lion will be on my arm. That's our symbol. You can see behind the gorilla and the lion. The gorilla's in front because that's how we always want to show ourselves as the gorilla. You're strong. Nobody want to mess with you, but you're peaceful. But that lion is always there to rip and tear, just in case.
That mentality, man, is you need to think. You don't exercise that in your normal life. You put your seatbelt on. You're not saying, you know what I'm saying, because the accident coming. You're doing it to have a sound mind. Right. Something can happen, and you're not blocking out the fact that things happen. So yes, you should train this stuff as much as possible. You know, things we have that. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be me. It's somebody every day.
And now let me say to the brother real quick, who last week said probably 30 times, just chop him in, not just, because we know what just, you don't know what you're talking about. He said chop, I think at first he said just, and after I said he said, chop him in the neck, chop him in the neck, chop him in the neck. And I said, Brother Lord, chop him in the neck. I'll say this, chopping in the neck, somebody in the neck can work. However, there are many variables, an unlimited number of variables in combat, where chopping in the neck may not be your option. It may not be your best option, your most efficient option. Okay? They'll tell you one of the first things I do, hit the person in the neck.
Mm-hmm. But if it's that white woman off the video,
you don't have that. Or
Benzino.
Or they grab up your arms. Your chopping the neck is done. They don't have your arms, but their head is pressed to your chest. And they're working from close. You don't have a chop option. Now what? So just so you know, I had to address that because I don't think anybody took it serious enough to just do it. But I want you to know. So you don't go out thinking you're just going to chop. You're going to run into something. And then I can't chop. What now?
If you're not training chopping, you don't know how hard to chop, where to chop, none of that. Like, you can't just keep chopping in your back pocket, like, okay, I'll be okay because I'm going to chop him in the neck. Like, you're not training. You have no idea.
Like I said, I'll just kick him in the nuts.
Exactly.
I'll just shoot him. It's like, okay. I've had many people who said I had one who always talking about, I just pop a fool. And we got into a serious fight because he stole one of my guns. Well, you gonna pop with my gun? You gonna pop me? Because I certainly approached him. Now where's I'm just gonna shoot him at? Because you took one of my guns. You know I have more, and I've come to you. You don't know what I have. I'm in your face, inches away, demanding my gun. Do you know he turned around? He gave me that damn gun. It was no fighting at all. He didn't just shoot me. He handed me my gun. He got my gun in his hand. But he didn't just shoot me. And I told him, you don't give me my gun, I'm going to beat your ass. So it's right there. Where's the just shooting at? I didn't pull a pistol. I didn't have my pistol out. None of that. Why didn't he hide around the wall and just shoot me like that? Because he knows there's also consequences to pay. If you hide behind the wall, now I ain't just standing there. Right. I'm bad. You think Bruce Lee bad? No, I'm not going to do that. That place would look like the Wild West. And I'd have still got my pistol, put it up, and walked home. I walked to his house, by the way. So all this when I hear he was always saying that, I knew he's not going to bust a grape. That's how I knew to go to his house. It deals with mentality first. And you know a person's mind based on what they say. People say it's more what you do than what you say. No, they're both very important. They're both very important. Because if you walk in here and say, if I'm searching somebody, I used to train brothers how to search. And the brother says to me, I say, how you doing, brother? I just feel like killing a motherfucker today. I just keep on searching. All right, brother. I used to train brothers, and I would say that under my breath. I just feel like killing somebody today. Yeah, so. And they're so busy because it's a line of other folks. I have a line of people out there they got to work with, and they think about that line Not thinking, what did this fool just say? Because he ain't got no tools on him. So it's cool. Go on in there. Now I started wrecking shop because I told you. And that was the train, like, oh my God, I told you what I was going to do.
That's the social contract too, wanting to be nice, wanting to not escalate the situation, wanting to just kind of overlook what the person, because you could probably, some of them probably did hear you say that.
Well, I think
he's joking.
Like, right, that, but
you know how people say,
right, it's just him.
You know, people be like, hey, how you doing? And whatever you say back, they don't really hear it. A lot of people don't.
A lot of don't. When I was training brothers here, I was training some brothers for executive protection search again. Mm-hmm. It was hot, and we had already been training. I go in the bathroom and take my drawers off. So when they search around my waistband, they just feeling sweaty flesh. They also in my pants, I had a pistol in my pants, right where they could have felt it, but they going around, and as I'm doing this, they say, oh, Baba, oh God, and I know I got him because he didn't concentrate on that, he's just grossed out. And does the pack? I said, you found everything? Yeah. I said, I think you skipped this. They like, what the hell? A 45, not no little Derringer or something.
I hope you.
And also, they don't want to touch your groin too.
Right. I hope you clean that gun when you were.
No, so when I taught y'all to shoot the pistol with, dog. I'm just saying, yes, I clean my gun. All right, let's go to it. Oh gosh, when you get older, you realize how little these chairs were when you went to school. We're going over to the fight cam. All right. Now, we're about to work on, you get grabbed by the person, back up a little bit, Belay. Right there. Good. He's going to grab you. Now, I've shown this, but in this instance, if he's trying to abduct, the one thing that we have to remember is usually he's stronger than you. Much stronger. Not like Belay over on Miniki, but usually somebody bigger over on Miniki, like much bigger than him, or somebody like over a child.
Let's be honest though, they don't get much bigger.
I mean, that's why I had to hesitate. Much to talk about Schwarzenegger. I mean, come on. You see that? Woo! And 7 became a stretched out like a 1. All right, so once they grab, what I want you to do is drop to the ground. Try to drop with control. I won't teach falling right now, but know that when you drop to the ground, I'm talking to mostly black folk. So your backside, that's a large muscle. Why white folks watching, well, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt when you land. But us, we got cushion. Okay, so you drop to your knees and sit down safely. You say, well, what if I can't? If you can't bend your knees, drop straight, shoot them towards between his legs and drop. Okay. If he lets you go, that's cool, you're free. If he doesn't, that is going to cushion some of your fall from his own weight. So he grabs, I bend my knees to brace myself. That's called having a good base, right? So I'm not just being pulled off balance. And then I sit. And I didn't use falling on it, I just sat. Make sure no tube fell off. That's my wallet, cool. One of my tubes in wallet. All right, so now once you're down, start kicking. If he's still holding, kick to the waist, kick up to the, as you kick, bring your butt off the ground. Kick up to the face. Kick to the solar plexus. Just know, nobody, even in MMA where they've done this many times, only one time was somebody knocked out by that kick. I think maybe twice.
Yeah, that was high up.
Right, and they had their face forward.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably not going to knock them out, but you're going to get them off of you. Yeah. As you're doing that, don't be silent. Silence is one of the things, many times our voices have been silenced. This is not the time to be silent, though. So you're going to scream. What you're going to scream is, whether you're a child, now adult can scream, "You're not my husband. You're not my," but a child wants you to say, so a child may not go to adult. Child say, and y'all repeat after me, "No!
No!
Leave me alone!
Leave me alone!
You're not my mother!
You're not my mother!
If it's a woman, you're not my father!
You're not my father!
You can say both. Somebody help!
Somebody help!
Again, no!
No!
Leave me alone!
Leave me alone!
You're not my mother!
You're not my mother!
You're not my father!
You're not my father!
Somebody help!
Somebody help!
You want them to know, you're not my mother. You're not my father. Somebody help. Or, as an adult, you can say, "No!
No!
Leave me alone!
Leave me alone!
You're not my husband!
You're not my husband!
You're not my wife!
You're not my wife!
Somebody help!"
Somebody help!
Now,
Well, I don't know you. Somebody help!
Right.
Don't
Now-
touch me like that.
right, don't touch me like that. Whatever it is to get attention, and you're screaming, "Somebody help!" Okay? Whatever it is that you want to yell.
Yo, I just want to say, we've had a workshop where we've done this. You really do have to train even yelling, because we had kids. The children did not want to yell
Because they've been taught, use your inside voice, don't raise your voice.
All
Who you
this
talking to?
We had to pull it out of the children. We had to pull it out of them, and even the adults. You really got to train that. I just want to say that.
So after that, after you've done that, get up to the best of your ability that you can. I'll do this again one more time. They grab, or even they grab to the inside. You would do the same thing. You drop, okay? Drop. I would advise, don't catch back here with your hand. You can dislocate your shoulder. Your butt can take a lot more than just your arm can take your weight. Your butt can take your weight. It's act like you're sitting in a chair. Okay? That's the beginning of what we call a back fall anyway. So just sit down and then start firing off. That was a tool that fell out of my pocket. We go, "Help! No! Leave me alone! You're not my mother! You're not my father! Somebody help!" You're just kicking with your heel. Whip your heel. Whip your heel. Keep your head off the ground. Kick. If you can't raise your butt up, just keep it down. It's stronger when you raise up.
Like his daddy used to say, them kids gonna do something.
They're going to do
You gotta
something.
worry about where they're going at. They're gonna do something.
Right, because you don't want to aim. Let me see. The liver. It's the pancreas. You ain't got time for that. You want to get him off of you.
Yes.
And then get up as quickly as possible. Now, I'm going to show the best way to get up, but get up the best way you can. I'm going to show two ways. Okay. One way, the way we like to, I kick, I bring this foot down, I'm close to him, I push up, bring my knee back, I'm up here. And then I stand. Don't stand immediately because it may take you off your feet. Now, once I can stand, I get up. Okay? And you can do either foot forward. That's up to you. The other way is, after kicking, if he's back, I put my hand back. And this foot, that the leg that I'm kind of sitting on, I use this as a brace, and I swing this leg back, and I'm up. Okay? That's swing back, right? Now, but if you got to roll over onto your knees and get up, you do the best you can. If I can't back him up and he comes into me, back up as follows, because you need more mat. I go down. I'm kicking. Help! You're not my mother. You're not my father. Somebody help! Help! Don't touch me like that, right? He gets up to try to take it in the middle, stand up on me. He's over me. Now he wants to pick me back up or whatever, so he's reaching. When he does that, the foot that's in front, that's closest to you, you wrap around. You're gonna just hug. That's all you're doing. You wrap around, move over a little bit, so I want you to fall to that shrine there. You wrap around your legs, crisscross applesauce. Hug him. You hug him. Put your head inside or outside. Best outside if you can. But then you can't throw too many punches. Here, you may catch this hand here. But here, you hug him. You get as close as you can. If my groin can touch, that's the best. If not, I just squeeze my knees on. But you get close. Hug, and I'm going to lay back. That's all I'm going to do. Lay back and hump up. Now, if you're a male, don't hump hard into his shin, you'll hurt your groin. A man or a boy. They using male. With girls or women, I'm not sure. I've never had a sister complain when she did this though. So I've only had one boy complain because he just slammed hard into that. That was bad. Still took the person down. So now you just lay back. I'm hugging, hug though, arms and legs, and lay back. He goes down. And now I roll off. Okay? I roll over towards his feet and I get off. So I roll, and if I can't roll, then I put my pressure in this femoral nerve. I don't want you to worry about that. So he's saying tap, but I'm putting my weight in the nerve. His femoral nerve makes your femoral artery.
I was wondering if I was going to teach him that one.
I'll teach him that later. I put that. See, he's saying tap, that hurts. And I get up and I get out, or I get to my tool and I go to work. Okay? I'll do it one more time. People say, is it that easy? It's that easy. We had little girls doing
this. You
this.
go to African martial arts.
Still training.
You can go to our IG and stroll for a while. You'll see we actually have video of girls doing this.
Yes.
To adults.
So from here, and we'll probably put that as one of the core curriculum. I'll put that in the core curriculum so you all can see. You go here, you sit. No, leave me alone. You're not my mother. You're not my father. Somebody help. Now he's trying to get in. And when he does that, sit up. Hug. Lay back. He's down. That's all I had to do. I roll off. If I am familiar with the femoral artery, which runs from the groin to 4 fingers above the ankle, I can put it anywhere in there. He said, tap, tap, put my weight. I push, get out, get to my tool, or just get out of there.
Trust me, it's enough pain if you do get that. That person ain't gonna be thinking about nothing right there.
Right.
Step on something, regardless.
All right, so
Thinking about they messed with the wrong one.
exactly. Now, looking at our time, real quick, because I know I said I was going to deal with the hair grab real quick, right? Now, I'll say this quickly, because our time I'm not going to deal with it fully. That's my point. That's all I'm going to deal with. With the hair grab, you see how he grabbed my hair? I don't have hair. So he just puts a fist. This is how dudes train this. And then I'm supposed to put my hand up, and then I turn under, lock him, or I turn this way, do something, and he gets thrown, and he's hollering, like, stop it. No, it's not going to work that way. Most of the men who created this didn't have a lot of hair, and so they just put their fist on top. I was teaching, me and Kalanji, we were teaching, representing USPI at this event, and you had these other folks there from another organization who they were coming up, and they said, I said, who here thinks that they can really get out of a hair grab? I was like, I'm willing to bet. Most of y'all haven't trained how to properly get out. You've been taught the old common BS way. This one says, I can. So you sure? Oh, I can. Yes. We train like warriors like y'all do. No, you don't train like we do, sister. Well, okay, come on. I grabbed her hair. Were you there? I think you were there. Yeah, you were there. I grabbed her hair. She put her hands on my head. Like, oh, I'm in trouble now. She put her hands on me and she moved. Ow! I pulled. I said, what's wrong? What's the matter? You want to try again? Yeah. I said, okay, I'll go ahead. Where you want my hand at? Right there, right at the top. Okay. She goes, ow! I said, what's the matter, sister? You want to try again? No. She sits down. I said, that's because you, like everybody else, in this conscious community, in the unconscious community, in whatever community you want to call it, has been mistaught because it's been men teaching it, not women. The African martial arts is 70% native technique that came from women. The reason why, I weigh 202 pounds. If I attack Ominiki, she has to rely on technique against me. As opposed to if I attack Bile, he may rely on strength. You saw them big old Bile muscles?
That's right.
Right? They call women slim thick. I guess we call them slim swole.
Thin swole, that's it. Thin swole.
So he's slim swole. He's slim swole, right? He can rely on strength. She's not going to rely on that against me. So she has to use technique. Okay? But if men are creating the technique, male technique is elbows, it's penetrating techniques. Fists, knees, headbutt, that's male. When you're talking about throws, when you're talking about I'm being grabbed, how I get out of that, now you're talking about female energy technique. Okay? So we're talking about male and female, we're talking about energies. So, if I grab her, the first thing, I grabbed my daughter. She was 15, we were filming the film. How'd you get out? I got it on. Boom! She responds immediately, cracks me in the solar plexus. Oh, boom! Up to the chin. Oh! As I'm looking up, I realize my hand's off of her hair. That's how I said, I've trained my child well. We had rehearsed what we were going to do for the video, which is a bad move because we're making a video to try to sell the quotes, and we just going with technique. I knew what technique we were going to do. We hadn't discussed how. Because I had that kind of confidence that we would pull it off. And we did, but everybody was shocked, including me, that she knew how. Because I was going to make a point. Like that twisting out, which I hadn't shown it, but everybody has seen that somewhere. Thought she was going to do that. She didn't. Boom, 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 and now she's out. You cannot get out that way. So if I grab your hair, you think you're going to twist out of that? And you can try to twist if you want. It's pulling her hair. Your head will fly. I want to mess it up. Right. So as I'm here, what you do, my hand is occupied. Because she's going to grab your hair and you hit it. So you don't allow that. So what you do, right, you put your fence up. And then what you're going to have to do when I punch, you punch on that same side. Don't punch here, don't punch it here. Now we hit each other. Okay, make this so they can see. Punch with this hand. If you punch forward and I punch forward, you get hit. If you punch forward with this hand, now I'm outside. I get hit. And that has blocked me. You said, what if you punch this way? Then now you're not going to be able to block it. That is the most dangerous way for you. What you do is raise your knees at that point to your elbow. Bring it up. So that stops that. Now, because she can't bend her head too much or bend too much because I got her hair. So she brings her knee up. If you can't bring your knee up, that's going to be an issue for you. So the first thing is to stop that from even grabbing you up there. Okay? Because that's bad for you. From the front, from the back is worse. I've seen somebody say, you grab from the back, you grab your pull, you turn around and hit. Come on. What is this? Putting the hand right here so you can do that? It's snatching you backwards like that. So that's situational awareness. You better know that they're doing that because they catch you like certain ways you catch you because they also gave up their back. You give up your back, you become an ancestor. They got here, didn't notice. Hey! I mean, come on. Wow, you failed some steps. You failed some steps. Your situational awareness has to be such where there's a bubble around you. And cats shouldn't just be up there on you like that. Can you get caught from behind? You can. But there's sacrifices that have to be made for your survival if that happens. That's why we try for that not to happen. I remember a brother grabbing me from behind, and I'm working. He was strong as hell, too. So I'm working, push his hand down like I should. Come under, I got his elbow locked. But before I could turn to crank it behind his back, the pain of getting caught here, he had short arms, they were short and strong. I had elbow locked him and didn't realize it. When I came under, he ow and collapsed. But he's still holding me. When he collapsed, landed on my face, dislocated my jaw. And I put that bad boy back in place. Thank God. But,
wow.
But, so, but he was playing. I wasn't playing, I didn't know he was going to grab me like that, right? So I didn't know who it was. So he wasn't trying to kill me or nothing. If he hadn't collapsed in that pain, he could have thrown me or whatever, even though I know what I'm doing. I'm getting out, and I learned that's not the best way to get out of that grab from that. Even though I've been taught that myself by my father. I learned there are other ways. Okay? But the best way, the best form of martial arts is avoidance, the highest form. So that shouldn't happen. We're filming the film, so I'm not paying attention to nothing except the film. I'm looking at the shots in the camera. And that's what boom. And it's a martial art film, so a bunch of martial artists are around there, so they full of ego.
He's high, yeah.
Right. So when he grabbed me, I'm like, what? They got him now. Crank his arm. And I figured out who it is at this point. And when he fell from pain, not from control, imagine he wanted to just control and slam me. It would just done more than dislocate my jaw. It smashed my whole face. Right? So just know training should be realistic. And anything you do, you try it. You test it. If it's not valid, which we always say that's not valid, we discard that shit. We go to something that actually works. And what's valid for me may not be valid for you because of our different sizes, our different mentalities, different ages. Okay? So we find what's valid for the person, and because Ominiki and Bile are instructors, they have to learn all the techniques, but they're not going to use all the techniques. You have to learn all of them so you can teach them. But you're not going to use them all. When I'm working techniques on students, they can probably count. I'm probably doing 7, 8 techniques in the whole years that all of them been with me. 7, 8 techniques. I'm teaching all kinds of techniques. But using them when I'm defending, showing things like that, I'm using 7, 8 techniques maximum. I think more like 5. I haven't really counted. I just move, right? Because those things are my go-to. They work for me. But if a situation comes up that I can't do that, I flow with whatever I need to do to survive. All right?
You're welcome.
So thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
And this is episode 4. We're going to, episode 5, I don't know what we're going to be working on. We'll figure it out. But
something very useful.
Yes, always useful. If you have any questions, ask in the chat. We ask that you send in what you're concerned with in the chat, and you can find us on Facebook as well, African with the K, African Martial Arts, the group. You can also ask in there, and we will answer them in the next class. So thank you. Be safe. Love y'all. Peace.